This is Bucks County Community College, Political Science 120 E59 e-learning. I'm John Deal, the instructor, and this is the beginning of the second half of our course on state and local government. I wanted to touch base on a few important items that we should keep in the forefront as we work through this week. Paper 3 is coming up shortly. It's due on Monday, and if you want to find out more about that, if you haven't read about Paper 3 yet, if you click on Format on the home page, that's the bulletin board with the post-it notes all over it. If you click on that and then scroll down on the Format, you'll come to the paper descriptions. And Paper 3 is basically having to do with, you have a choice of two topics. One is crime reduction strategies. What strategies have been successful in reducing crime, and this paper should have specific examples. Your other opportunity, your other topic that you could do here is on prison population. I had to adjust the camera there. The prison population problem is, of course, talked about quite a bit in the Dye textbook, and your paper, if you choose to do that one, would be to detail and evaluate what has been done to alleviate prison overcrowding, with again specific examples. In the second paper, several students were weak with citation of outside resources. This paper is intended to be a research project, and as such there should be evidence that you have researched in outside places, and your citations should be in the body of the paper, and it should be listed on the works cited page. There has to be evidence of research to get a top superior grade. So I just wanted to refocus you a little bit on that, and maybe you guys can get a handle on it this time better than you did before. Several people had superior papers, don't get me wrong, but you need to really work on this over a course of a few days and not wait till the last minute, which is what I think happened with students that didn't have a body of research evident in their work. The rubric is the same as the rubric on the first two papers, so you should be pretty familiar with that. If not, it's on the assignment link. Once you're done the quiz for this week's work on crime, courts, and corrections, you would be able to submit your paper. But that doesn't preclude you from working on your document and having it prepared even before you take the quiz. I'm really pleased with the posts in our discussion so far on kids not cases. I have even taken the liberty of pasting some of your comments without your names, but some of your comments to my face-to-face class, who also are working on this online as well. I wanted also to talk about, for just a few minutes, the assignment having to do with the PowerPoint. The topics for the PowerPoints are bureaucratic politics, courts, crimes, and corrections, governors, metropolitics, taxation and finances, legislatures, and land use. Only two of the groups, metropolitics and land use, have taken advantage of the conference tool. If you go to the lower left-hand part of the home page for our course on Canvas and click on Conferences, you will come to a list of these topics that I just mentioned to you. And in that list are the names of everybody under each topic. Again, on the format and on the assignment instructions, are the details on how to present a PowerPoint. Pretty much they would be similar to the PowerPoints that I have been doing. It's about the same number of slides, they have graphics and audio inserted in them. I hope that the PowerPoint this week on Chapter 9 is helpful to you. And I also really am anxious that some of you could send me some questions about items in there that I could respond to before we take the quiz. So if you go to the discussion tool and go down to question time and give me a question, I will respond to it as soon as I can. I wanted to touch base on a couple current events that I think relate to our studies. They're always going on, and I hope that you're reading the paper now with an eye for many of the controversial topics that we've been talking about, things that you might have overlooked before. For example, one of the Supreme Court justices, Joan Ori Melvin, in the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, has been convicted of using her staff for political purposes. In Pennsylvania, the Supreme Court justices are elected, and Judge Melvin was found guilty of having her staff help with political campaigning, which is a theft of services, where they are not working for the state but working for the individual on the court. And she was convicted along with one of her sisters in this situation. And this is really interesting because Judge Melvin has resigned. She's actually no longer a justice. And she has resigned effective May 7th, and she's suspended from hearing any cases and does not sit. So right now we have 6 justices, which is problematical because, of course, you could have ties, and there is a workload involved, this administrative workload that is a little tougher on the 6 people who remain. And there is a dispute as to who and how her replacement will be seated. The governor has the option of appointing a person in an interim way until 2015 for the regular election process. And as you have studied in the book by now, the vast majority of these interim appointments end up being long-term judges, because very seldom are sitting judges voted out of office by the population. Another option, this makes it really interesting, is when there's a vacancy in the court itself can appoint a replacement. So I don't know yet how that's going to turn out, and I don't know yet the specifics on the legalities of who is going to take charge of this. I mean, who would hear the case? If somebody sues and says the governor shouldn't appoint the justice, do they sue to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court? So you see what I mean? This could be kind of problematical. If any of you figure it out before me, shoot me a line and we'll share it with the rest of the class. Another article that I thought, another topic which I thought was kind of interesting in current events, was the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission. One of the members there has been indicted for pay for play, which is taking bribes from contractors to do work for the Turnpike. And billions of dollars are involved in this process in the Turnpike, as you might imagine. Also, a state, local, and national article all combined is the 111th Tactical Fighter Squadron, the Air National Guard, which used to be based in Willow Grove and then was currently based at McGuire Air Force Base, is coming back to Horsham and will be a new drone unit, flying drones in Afghanistan, Yemen, Sudan, and other places where we're doing this controversial project. And that happens to be my old unit, and so I was kind of interested in the role there. It involved the local municipality of Horsham cooperating. Of course, the congressional representatives from our area pushed to get this to come to Montgomery County. And Congressman Fitzpatrick and Congresswoman Allison Schwartz also had a lot to do with this unit being brought back to our area. There was a vote in the Pennsylvania House, and this was on the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board. As we were discussing earlier in the class, there is a bill to privatize the state stores, and this process may go forward because it passed the House of Representatives, which was a shot in the arm to Governor Corbett, who had staked his reputation on this getting accomplished. It now goes to the Senate, and that could take a few months to work out there. And in referring to the election, it's interesting that there are 12 Democrats that have already indicated an interest in running for the governor's office, sensing that Governor Corbett might be vulnerable. So there we have it. I've gone over your paper. I talked a little bit about the paper. Shoot me any questions that you want to about that if you need any clarification. The week's work involves reading the text, taking the quiz, doing your critique on Kids Not Cases, and also discussing it online. Of course, with the view of the paper being due on Monday, that's a lot on your plate, but it is doable. Also, don't forget to get in contact with your partners in your PowerPoint presentation. Using the conference tool, you can communicate with each other 24/7 and take care of things pretty well in that way. So I look forward to talking with some of you on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock for my virtual office hour. So good luck, everybody. Go well. Shoot me any questions you might have, and I'll be in touch.